Okay, yeah, my name is Olex. I'm lead of cryptography at Distributed Lab and Rarimo Protocol. Yeah, I started doing cryptography 10 years ago. I finished master degree in cybersecurity and then switched to applying cryptography in real applications. Shortly, that's it. We are trying to help different projects like Rarimo and other ones to use zero-knowledge proofs and cryptography in their solutions. How Rarimo started? We started as identity aggregator for verifiable credentials. It started two years ago. Then we found out that you can bring some real documents and real Web 2 and Web 1 credentials into Web 3 world. So, for example, you can take a passport, scan all data from that, and generate appropriate proofs that some data is included into the passport, but without real and sensitive information. For example, with this approach, you can prove that you're Ukrainian, you're adult Ukrainian, and, for example, vote. But all the data you don't want to share will be hidden. All proofs are generated locally, so you are not delegating any data to some, trusted executors or trusted provers. So you're generating a gross extent proof locally and sharing only the final proof with needed application. Then we launched several solutions that allow you to organize a digital protest. With this technology I mentioned, you can participate in some pools and prove that you're eligible to participate, but without, again, extracting some sensitive information. Right now we are working on, we are trying to extend this concept with identity data, with probabilistic identity data. Right now with our technologies, you can scan your face and create the proof of proximity, for example, or proof of likeness, that you're the same person that controls a particular passport. We are touching zkML a bit, so we need to create a provable environment for machine learning and AI protocols that you should be able to verify everything that the particular AI or model doing. That's the design of Rarimo Protocol. Yeah, privacy should be right. So why I'm interested in this technology? Because, of course, I started with Bitcoin, but the next technology that I was wondering is Monero and Mimblewimble then. And it's an application that are combining cryptography to extract the needed properties for people. With such applications, you can pay to anyone without any restrictions, with hiding your personality and keeping your human rights. We are trying to use the same technologies, but for more social, more social-oriented applications. Yeah, probably that's how math and cryptography can solve some political problems, some social problems, because I believe this should be a core component. Privacy should be a core component. So you cannot operate in current world totally openly. That's the reason why a lot of companies cannot use USDC in current form, because you cannot open your relations and your interactions with your clients, with other businesses. You need to keep the privacy, but at the same time extend that with eligibility. So if you are allowed to perform some operation in hidden form, but with proving your eligibility, you should be able to do that. The technology should be hidden from people. As in blockchain, radio waves, nobody knows how exactly they are working. A majority of people, but we are using them every day. I believe the privacy should be the same. So when you're using some specific application, you should be protected, but at the same time, you don't need to investigate how zero-knowledge proofs work, how ring signatures work, how different confidential stuff work. So the biggest challenge is to combine a good user experience with hard technologies under the hood. What our challenge, for example, that some statements require a lot of computational resources. And for example, proving different statements can take several minutes for on-client devices, and definitely that's not good for user experience. If some application requires waiting, I don't know, several minutes to complete the operation, definitely that's not for people. And the biggest challenge is to match current technologies like to real applications. I know that a lot of protocols and Web3 infrastructures, they're working now on privacy-preserving applications. And yeah, I believe in this future that in 5 or in 10 years, the majority of the DeFi applications will be regulated, but they should be regulated in the proper way. They should be regulated in the way when user can keep privacy, but at the same time prove that they're allowed to perform something. Relating to passports, problem number one, we have like a common standard for passports, but the implementations are different from country to country. And if you are working with zero knowledge proofs, you need like to have, ideally, you need to have some constant algorithm for verification of everything. And if we are working with different like implementations of passports in different countries, we need to re-implement logic. They are using different signature algorithms, different hash functions, and and when you're operating with constant circuits, there's a headache. Additionally, some of them support very difficult cryptography, and if you're working with ZK, you need like to cover this difficult algorithm with additional like constraining, etc., etc., etc. And all users have limitations depending on their client devices. And it means that you're not able right now to generate all proofs locally. So, and there is a trade-off. What exactly you can delegate to some trusted server, what exactly you need to hide, and what exactly you need to control on your local device. As I said, we also working on the intersection of ZK and AI, and good models, they're also computationally difficult. And when you're trying like to cover them with ZK, it means you're adding requirements for the device where exactly this algorithm will be conducting. So yeah, this is like the biggest one. Yeah, I respect to teams who which are trying like to reduce the complexity of writing zero knowledge applications for developers. For example, I don't know, Aztec team and Noir, because Circom is this like technology for geeks. And yeah, if you want like to bring like more people and more developers to the key applications, definitely you need to create appropriate frameworks and appropriate SDKs and tool base for them. And like, yeah, we have the same problem for identity cases, because I don't believe that developers will investigate how our technology works, the majority of them, of course. So we need to provide a clear SDK, a clear tool base, and probably documentation to allow them to build their identity applications like in an easy way. And probably, yeah, that's what we are doing right now. We should like open source our framework for ZK-friendly AI until the end of May. And then we can gather the feedback of how difficult it was for. Point of view, cypherpunks are the people who are fighting right now, who are fighting for digital privacy, and because as I said that like we want like to have a privacy in the physical world, and this sometimes is difficult to achieve, but at least if you would ask people, do you want like to be private, the majority of them will answer yes. But in reality, nobody cares. Nobody cares. In the digital world, internet remembers everything. and early or later we will need like to find with results of public applications. If we can design like a private internet and private like Web3 global infrastructure, it means we care about the future, about the like humanity's future. And yeah, cypherpunks are trying like to implement this future for all of us. I think like yeah, there is no single instruction of how to be a cypherpunk, and probably there are different ways. First of all, yeah, of course you can learn math and cryptography and like implement some applications. Then like propaganda also matters. So if you're fighting for privacy, you can be like a public person and spread like, yeah, you should use like privacy-oriented applications, for example. Sooner or later, more and more people should start using like such applications as Signal instead of Telegram, for example. It's like a clear choice. But yeah, we need to have like a strong ecosystem for that. We need to have privacy preserving applications with a good UX, first of all, because initially people see on user experience, and only if some problems happen, they can pay attention on the privacy. So probably, yeah, the solution is if we have like a strong and user-friendly applications that presume privacy, we can reach this like we can reach the dream of cypherpunks. Again, there is no like general advice for developers. It's more like related to owner of applications. Yeah, this like advice for them not to forget about privacy. So when you're designing your final product, when you're implementing some like new additional features, yeah, of course, first of all, you need to think about like how the final user will like consume your application. But at the same time, like a strong recommendation not to forget about the privacy. Yeah, I would highly recommend everybody to pay attention on applications that achieve a privacy through cryptography and math, because math is beautiful. Just like probably for me it was a way how I started working with crypto. That's like Monero and Mimblewimble. So you can see how math creates some properties you can achieve like in private applications, and that's not possible like to achieve that with trusted entities, with like trusted mediators, with some responsible parties, because sooner or later the responsible party will reveal your data. This responsible party can deny of the service, and you cannot like use your application. So internet and like applications upon that should be built in the manner where they, yeah, in ideal world, they should be decentralized, they should be permissionless, and they should support privacy by default. Only like with this set of requirements, the user can be safe in the current world. Yeah, there are two like basic books from Bruce Schneier and Van Bommel. They're like quite general, but anyway, if you wanna like to have a quick introduction into cryptography, I would highly recommend to read them. If you wanna be a cryptography guru, you should read a graduate course to applied cryptography by Dan Bonnet and Victor Shoup. So probably, yeah, if you're able to read this book, you can understand a lot of about like cryptography and how privacy can be reached. As a cryptographer, I would recommend you to try to read every paper you can find, because first of all, that's like the building blocks for the privacy technologies in the future, and it can provide you some ideas you didn't expect to have. I wouldn't say there is like one single website that aggregates everything. So probably Yeprint and Archive are the best sources. Yeah, there are like a lot of different journals focused on like one specific on like another specific areas. Yeah, like a lot of different sources where you can find cryptography pieces. Web3 Privacy Now is a good source for that. And yeah, I would start investigating protocols that brings privacy into like current world. From internet perspective, yeah, that's like, yeah, Tor, I2P. Yeah, you shouldn't like know all details of the protocol, but like some basic principles should be enough to understand like how it's constructed. From like decentralized applications, yeah, Tornado Cache has a very beautiful construction. Monero and Mimblewimble, Zcash as well. Pum. Yeah, for messengers, Signal, first of all. Some messengers should support broadcast encryption. Matrix, for example. Yeah, Matrix has a different structure, but you can investigate that as well.